Hello, everyone. Glenda Mollet here. Welcome to my craft room tonight. We're going to make a card out of the Waves of Inspiration bundle. I posted this card earlier on. I'll show it to you. It's by Barb Stewart, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the simplicity of it. And I asked if anybody wanted to learn how to make it, and I got a few yes pleases, so I thought I will go ahead and make it for you guys tonight. Hi, Connie. All right, just getting myself organized here. We had our grandchildren over for dinner. Well, we didn't have them for dinner. They were here for dinner. It always makes me laugh when I say that. Like, we had our grandchildren for dinner tonight. There. So things are usually a bit crazy when they're here. Because, of course, oops, I've got to share this with my group. Hang on. I completely forget every time I do this. Hi, Yvonne. Okay, got to go over here, find it, and we'll just share it to my group. There we go. All right. We're good. Good to go. Everybody's in the pool. Hi, Janet. Hi, Marcia. Well, hello from Texas. Welcome, welcome. So, Marcia, I am way over on the west coast of British Columbia, Canada. The next stop from me is Japan. Japan, can you imagine? All right, so let me see. There we are. Good. Good to go. Got to get that out of my way, though. Okay, so this card I received in a swap by one of my silver sisters. It uses the Waves of Inspiration stamp set. Yeah, oh wow, isn't that cool that you can join us from way over there? I think it's amazing. Amazing. Okay, Waves of Inspiration stamp set and the Waves dies. Now, these are in the new annual catalog. They're continuing on from the January to June mini catalog. Hi, Sharon. So they're still available. And then the windows, I'm going to die cut using the stitched rectangle. And I looked at this card and I thought, how the heck did she get that so straight and so even? So I asked her, and then it was like a duh moment. Like, hello, Blondie. So I'm going to share you the secrets of how to create this card with you. So you can love it as much as I do. But you know what I didn't get was, I don't think I have bling. Oh, maybe I put them in here, the bling. Okay. So I have a few of the Waves rhinestones left, but that's it. So if you don't have the Waves rhinestones, just use whatever. I see one is missing from here. And I had a tiny piece of the foil and the designer paper left, so we're going to use those. But if you don't have them, any designer paper, and we've got lots of silver foil, so you'll be able to do that. This piece, get my recipe out of here, because then I can actually tell you the right thing. So this is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4, and that's going to make this inside frame. Then the outside frame and the piece for the inside is 5 1/4 by 4, and it's just basic white. The card base is thick basic white. Okay, so let's show you the inside. There you go. Cards that have a lot of white on them make my heart really happy. Move my camera just a titch. There we go. All right. So we'll start with the front, because it's really so easy. All right, so you need stitched rectangle dies, and you need number 3 and number 4. So I count from the middle, 1, 2, 3. That'll be on the little one, and number 4 is on the big one. So the hardest part about this, Marcia, it is 8 o'clock at night here. So are you like 3 hours ahead of us where you are? Okay, I'm just going to get my platform out here. Now, Stampin' Up! Has turned off the magnetic platform. It is not orderable at the moment because it's delaminating, and I don't know whether you can tell right here. I store my plates. It's 10. Okay, so you're 2 hours then. I store my plates in my my die cutting machine all the time because it helps keeps the cutting plates flat and it helps keep this flat. But you can see that it's starting to delaminate. And that's what the problem is. That's why Stampin' Up! Has turned this off and we're not going to be able to get it for a while. I'm hoping it comes back. Okay, so I'm going to center this in the middle. And remember, when you're dealing with flat, straight edges, to put it on a diagonal so it's easy for the machine to go over it without hitting a roadblock. There we go. And the same with this one. And just center it. Now you're probably saying, oh my gosh, how are you going to do that and make sure that it's centered? This one is so small because then I can move it around. You were wondering why we were on so late? Yeah, 8 o'clock is my normal time, but on the West Coast, it's my normal time. If you live on the East Coast, it's midnight. All right, I'm just running these through the machine. There we are. So there's the big one. And there's the little one. We'll put these dies back because we're done with them. Now these inside pieces you can use for another project, or instead of putting the 5 1/4 by 4 on the inside, you could put these pieces in here like this. Stamp your bird on here. Maybe even put them like that, and then do your writing up there. You could reuse them if you want. We might do that on this one, just because I can. Okay, so now you take your adhesive, put it along the edges of the big one, because the big one is bigger than the little one. So you can put the adhesive there. Don't put the adhesive on your little one because you might get it too close, so that then you end up with pieces or adhesive showing. Then you take your big one and line it up with the little one. Kind of hopefully it's, oh, it touched. Uh-oh. Oh, well, let's hope it's straight. It is. Good. And there you go. That's the secret. So now that you know the secret, I hope you stick around to see the rest of the card, because I've just given you the major secret of the entire card. Okay, now I didn't put adhesive sheet on this, but I think I will. Oops. Because sometimes it's difficult. Oops. Got avalanches happening. Sometimes it's difficult to get the adhesive on there. So I'm just going to cut myself a piece of adhesive sheet. There we go. Now, one thing about this new package of adhesive sheet I got, they've scored it on the wrong side. So these sheets are scored so that they're easy to get off, but they've scored it on the side with the adhesive instead of the side with the liner. So it's a little bit more difficult to use them. But there you go. So that's on there. That's adhesive sheet. Now we're going to take our wave die. Now there's 2 of them. So we can use whichever one we want. I've used this one, so let's use this one, and then you'll be able to see the difference. And I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine like that. But because it's got adhesive sheet, I'm going to run it through upside down, because then it'll give it a good cut. Sometimes when you have adhesive sheet on there, it adds just a little bit too much thickness and it doesn't die cut all the way through. Okay, there we go. Yes, I have a new plate. My other plate cracked the other day when I was creating. It was really weird. Okay, so there we are. Got all those out of there. This is die cut, so we'll just gently remove it from its backing. So did everybody have a good weekend? Despite the weather? Holy man, we've had enough rain to last me until Christmas, I think. And cold. It's almost the middle of June, and I'm still wearing Christmas. I'm still wearing winter stuff. This is not fun. I've had enough now. Okay, so now this is a piece of the designer paper, and we're going to put this on here like that. And because it has the adhesive sheet, I'm just going to pull the liner off. That's one piece. So you guys are quiet out there. Are you still there? You still hanging around? When you have two pieces spliced together like that, they don't all come off at the same time. You kind of have to play with it a bit. There we go. And last one. You have not used this die, Carla? Oh my God. I've almost worn it out. I love these dies. 100 degrees for the next week. Oh, Marcia. I'm sorry. I'll send you some cold, rainy weather if you want. Hi, Connie. I'm glad you're still here. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. I think right down at the bottom, if I remember correctly, because we're going to cover up part of the bottom anyways. So there we go. Just put this in here like that. There we are. It's so much easier when you have adhesive sheet. The weather is disgusting, Carla. Absolutely terrible. I had to go and pick something up today, and I put just a sweater on, and I had wished I had put my hoodie, my winter hoodie on instead. Okay. There's that. Aha! Connie and Marcia, get together. You're in the same state. See, now this is going to fit on here like this, but there's dimensionals between those two layers. So I'll just get my dimensionals out and put them all the way around the frame. I wish I could exchange half of our weather for half of your weather, Marcia. That would be good. But, you know, Mother Nature doesn't allow us to do that. Okay, so that's all the way around the frame. Now I'm just going to stick some around the outside as well. Because you don't want it to collapse. Okay, I'll email you some, Marcia. There we are. Now, those are enough for the big ones. Sometimes I overkill on dimensionals, but sometimes you need them so that your card doesn't collapse. So we'll just put a couple on here. Our son had meniscus repair surgery today. So it's been, I know it's not invasive surgery, and it's not a bad surgery, but you know, when you're a mom sitting at home and he's 2 hours away having surgery, you worry. You had to be there at 10 o'clock. He didn't get in for surgery until after 2, and they didn't release him until 4:30. So he's had quite the long day. And of course, Heather, his wife, had to drive him there, and it's an hour and a half from where we live. And then she had to wait all day till they told her she could go and get him and bring him home. It's not like you can come home and wait for the call because you're too far away. Okay, there we go. I put this on my mat so that it doesn't get stuck. And I'm doing this all before I put it on the base because I want to get the front done, and then we'll put it on the base. So you just, oops, let go. You put this wherever it looks good to you. Let's just go over a little bit like that. So now we've got that piece in there. And let's see if I can get a little bit of adhesive on here, just to hold it down. Ah. Oh, is it, Marcia? Are you having knee repair surgery? Okay. Or do you have to wait for somebody who's having surgery? There we go. And oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, bummer. I forgot to put sentiment on there. Oh, well. We will just do it differently. You should stamp your sentiment before you put the dimensionals on there, or you won't be able to afterwards because they'll be in the way. Okay, I'm just going to find a scrap of white here that I can, oops, can't see the glare. Glare is happening. No, not big enough. Okay, we'll just use that one. All right. So I'm just going to stamp it again and put it over the top. I like this sentiment that says, our friendship is a thing of beauty. Every once in a while, you have to recognize your good friends for all the help they give you. Stream him. Oh. Wow, that's different. We've been lucky. Hubby and I and our local family have managed to avoid COVID. Okay, I'm just going to stamp this on the spare one, or on the extra piece of white. Yes. Wow. Well, I hope it all goes well, Marcia. Cut that off. Cut this off. Somebody's out there hammering. I hope that it's not bothering you guys. Okay, just give this a little trim. I don't know who that is. No, it's not hubby, because he's been busy all day with the grandkids. Because I had a class this afternoon, so he was on grandpa duty, and he went over there and had lunch with them and played with the dogs for a while. Played with the grandkids, brought them back for dinner, and then he had to take them home and wait for mom and dad to get home because he needed to stay there until he found out how our son was doing. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on this. Now, should I pop this up? What do you think? Should I pop this up or should I leave it flat? I think popping up. So while I stamp the inside, let me know, what do you think? Should I pop that sentiment up or should I just put it on flat? Now. Right. Get this bird dude happening. Get my dirty paper out here. Pop it up. Oh, everybody wants it popped up. Yay. I think it would look good popped up. Okay. Now, I was going to try and use these, wasn't I? So let's just, okay, I will pop that up. Let's have a look and see what this is going to look like with these two pieces. Oh, that would be all right, wouldn't it? That would work. We'll stamp the bird here. I like using those extra pieces because, you know, you put them away in a I'll use you later container and I never use them. Okay, we'll put this right over towards the side. Oh, perfect. Yay! Oh, Valerie, how can you forget I'm on? I'm on every Monday. Every Monday. And every Thursday. Well, except for next week. I won't be live next week at all because we're going to be visiting the other grandchildren next week, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. Going up for Miss Maggie's birthday. It's going to be 2. It's hard to believe she's going to be that old. Okay, let's put the little one on first. Yeah. Old and blonde. Easy on the old part there, or on the blonde part. Okay, this on. Inside. Like that. Oh, got glue on my hands. And we'll put this on top of it. So we leave Thursday. So I won't be live on Thursday or Monday or Thursday. So it'll be 2 weeks before I'm live again. There. Look at that. I like that. Let's use you're 70 years old and just as bad. I know. Sometimes it's hard to remember things. I'm going to use my Wink Estella just to color in the pilings because I really like the look when you reactivate that ink and color it in and leave the ropes uncolored so that they're mostly white. Night of Navy is a really nice color to do this with. It really activates well. Just be careful you don't go over the edge. There we are. 5 kilometers 3 times a day. Good for you, Val. So I had an in-person all-day fun day yesterday. The first one since COVID. We had such a blast. It was so fun. There we go. There's the inside. And I'm just going to get the pale. Oop, that's the dark. Hang on. Pale. The light petal pink. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought that was ink. It's not. It's just a piece of glue. I'm going to go do his beak. Just because I like to add a little bit of color, but uh-oh. It reactivated. That's not good. Okay, let's try the dark one. We had amazing time, Val. We laughed. We crafted. We ate. We played games. They won prizes. I got to give away prizes. It was so much fun, let me tell you. And don't forget that our BOGO sale is still going on. Now, mine is only going to be for another limited time, only while I'm away. Then I'm going to pull the BOGO part, and I'm going to have an in-person garage sale with all the stuff that's left over. And then whatever's left over, I'll do a virtual garage sale. So there's a few things left. So anybody that's local and's looking for stuff, it'll come. I just haven't decided when I'm going to do it yet. Okay, I'll put a sentiment on here, like that. And the finishing touch. You already spent your pension? Yeah, you did. And thank you very much, Valerie. I appreciate your support. Okay, so we're going to put, I really want to put a row of these going down here. It just feels like it needs a row of little ones right there. Okay, push that in just a bit so that it curls a bit. There we are. Oh, like that. Okay, let's get some more in there. Because what good are they to me when they're sitting here? Let's add some light blue ones. Just give it a little bit of bling in some areas. Maybe one there. What do you think? Cool card? So easy, but it looks like it took forever. This is a bit crooked. I'm going to let it go because I'm not taking it apart now. It's not that crooked. Just a little bit down in this corner. So there we are. There's our card. Does not take long to do it all. The dies are still available. The stamp set is still available. I know what I was going to do. I was going to add some on here because these ones have disappeared. I don't know where these ones went. So let's just put a few. We'll just make this one different. And put there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. You want to make sure your adhesive or your embellishments are uneven number because they look better that way. There we go. That's our card for tonight. I got my catalog today. Oh, I got my catalog today. Nope, not that one. Well, there it is. Hang on. Look what arrived in my mail today. Ooh. It's the new July to December mini catalog with all the Christmas stuff in it. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? And then, so this one goes July to December, starts the 1st of July, I do believe. Yep, and goes till the 4th of January. I can't show you the inside, so don't worry, I won't be. But July and August is also celebration time. Look at that. So it's going to run just like all the other celebrations. Every $60 you order, you get to choose something free out of this catalog. And okay, I'm going to show you up close a sneak peek of what's inside. Do you see the hippos? Do you see the hippos? And they have dies. And I'm so excited. I can show you the cover and I can show you the back. So there's some paper and another stamp set. Look at that, eh? Oops, there's a little sneaky peeky of the stamp set that made these cards. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, Valerie, let me tell you a little story. Hang on. I'm going to swoop that. So, my catalogs are supposed to arrive tomorrow. my catalog supply, but I haven't had time to get the letters and stuff ready to send with them. So they won't be in the mail before we go. I will get them in the mail when we get back. And we get back in a week and a half. So hopefully I'll get them in the mail the 13th or the 14th of June and get them to you as soon as I can. I might take them with me if I get time to print out the letters. I might just take all the supplies with me and put them together up north and mail them from Quesnel. Because, sorry, I'm leaving. I'm leaving, taking my trailer, and I'm going. We are going to visit the grandchildren, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it. But don't worry, I've got stuff queued up to keep going in my Facebook and on my blog for the whole time that we're gone. And then when we get back, I'll be live again on the 13th, definitely, and maybe, nope, not the 13th, the 20th. Yeah, so they won't be in the mail till the 20th at the earliest. Thank you. I don't know what you mean. Oh, you spelled it wrong. Yeah. What were you trying to ask, Marcia? Oh, well. Marcia, if you ask again, and I don't know what. Do you mean the town that we're going to visit? It's Quesnel, not Cornell. Quesnel. It's in the interior of British Columbia. So we have to take a ferry, and then it's an 8-hour drive. To arrive there at 5 or 6 o'clock at night, we have to leave here at 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's because we have to drive to the ferry, then we have to sit and wait for the ferry, then we have to 2-hour ferry ride, and then we get off, and then we get to drive our 8 hours. And we're towing our trailers, so we don't have to stop. Nope, not going to New York. Going to Quesnel, BC, which is right in the center of our province, up north from where we are. Well, Valerie, the roads are supposed to be going through the canyon and the Coquihalla and the Duffy Lake Road. They're start and stop, and you go through on pilot cars because they're busily working on those sections that flooded in December. So it might take us more than the 8 hours that we're used to, but that's okay. Yeah, holy moly's right. Marcia, we had horrible floods in December, end of November, beginning of December, and it completely washed out. There's 3 roads to get from the lower part of British Columbia anywhere, either the interior of BC or go east to the rest of Canada. It washed out all 3 roads. So everybody in the lower western part of British Columbia were stranded. The only way we could get out was to go down through the States. And at that time, COVID restrictions were still on, so we couldn't even go that way. So we've kind of been sitting, waiting. Our trailer will be parked at our son's house. He's got property, so we don't have to pay. Yeah, it was bad. We were supposed to go to Quesnel in June for Maggie's first birthday, and our whole province was on fire, and we couldn't get up there because they had all the roads closed. And then we were going up in December for our grandson's birthday, and we couldn't get up there because they were closed due to the floods and the washouts and stuff. So yeah, it was a tough year last year. Yeah, bad ice storm. I heard that. Yeah, I hope everything is okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you when I see you. You never know, I might pop in and do a live when we're up north, just to say hi. You know, me, I can't stay away. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now.